Hey everyone, it's Nick Manuel from Susquehanna Valley Church, and on this episode of SVC Coffeehouse, we'll be looking at the song Sovereign Over Us by Aaron Keyes. Sovereign Over Us is a song of God's sovereignty. That means that nothing happens outside the hand of God. This is how He's able to assure His faithfulness and His promises to His people. In Romans, Paul writes to the church in Rome, and he states, "And we know for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose. For those whom He foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son, in order that we might be the firstborn among many brothers. And those whom He predestined, He also called, and those whom He called, He also justified, and those whom He justified, He also glorified." So in verse 30 of this passage, we see this salvific chain. This is how God is working in the hearts of His people to make us right before Him. Now, in between justification and glorification, we have this process that's called sanctification. And this is, as it says in verse 29, we are conformed to the image of the Son. And like I said, this is definitely a process. So when we hear the term sanctifying us in the song, know that this is God's process of making His people more like Jesus. Let's check the song out. There is strength within sorrow. There is beauty in our tears. And You meet us in our mourning with a love that casts out fear. You are working in our waiting. You're sanctifying us. When beyond our understanding, You're teaching us to trust. Your plans are still to prosper. You have not forgotten us. You're with us in the fire and the flood. You're faithful forever, perfect in love. You are sovereign over us. Your wisdom unimagined. Who could understand Your ways? Reigning high above the heavens, reaching down in endless grace. You're the lifter of the lowly, compassionate and kind. You surround and You uphold me, and Your promises are my delight. Oh, Your plans are still to prosper. You have not forgotten us. You're with us in the fire and the flood. You're faithful forever, perfect in love. You are sovereign over us. Even what the enemy means for evil, You're working for our good. You're working for our good, for your glory. Even in the valley, you are faithful. You're working for our good. You're working for our good and for your glory. Even what the enemy means for evil, you're working for our good. You're working for our good and for your glory. Even in the valley, you are faithful. You're working for our good. You're working for our good and for your glory. Your plans are still to prosper. You have not forgotten us. You're with us in the fire and the flood. You're faithful forever. You're perfect in love. You are sovereign over us. You're faithful forever. Perfect in love. You are sovereign over us.